Hello everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk about Black Adam and its chances of success or failure at the box office. Now there might be some spoilers here regarding other movies within the DCEU, so just beware when going into this overall video. Now the Dwayne Johnson superhero movie is just under a month away now from release, due to open at around October the 21st, 2022. And there's been ongoing continued debate about whether this is more of a Dwayne Johnson vanity project rather than a genuine DC superhero epic. Have the trailers lacked the impact and influence? Does it come off more as a generic superhero entry? Is Dwayne Johnson carrying the true box office marketability? And will we see any possible cameo from Henry Cavill's Superman? So will the movie go on to be a success, or will it be another flop and disaster from the DCU, as what we've recently seen from the likes of Birds of Prey and also the Suicide Squad? Now overall, I'm going to say that the movie will succeed. I don't think it's going to make the treasured $1 billion, but I do think it will have a healthy box office run. Now there are a few reasons for this, and I think one of the biggest ones is that when the movie comes out, it's going to be one of the biggest event movies that we've probably seen since Thor: Love and Thunder earlier this year, and that came out back in July. In what's been a very lackluster year theatrically in terms of the big blockbusters, Black Adam could be sold as that big budget return to cinemas for audiences. So there could be a certain thrill and excitement for Black Adam just existing within cinemas when it overall releases. And certainly after its release, the next big event film in this year won't be until Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which won't come out until November the 11th. So Black Adam should have a good 2 to 3 weeks at the top, presumably, to make some big box office change. Now we then talk about Dwayne Johnson, and there's been recent discussion on his box office record and status, and whether he's truly a standalone box office A-lister. Now I've always felt that he is. Now people have looked at the fact that most of his successful movies have been from franchises, whether it's been The Fast and the Furious or Jumanji. But even at this stage, where the superhero genre is dominating entertainment, the fact that a standalone Black Adam movie is being made at all is all down to Johnson, who very much used all of his clout and influence to get the movie made in the first place. And certainly people will look at his recent films such as Skyscraper and The Jungle Cruise and state that he hasn't exactly produced massive big box office hits. But when looking at his box office numbers, I asked the question, who else, apart from Leonardo DiCaprio, has anywhere near the same box office track record in the current climate? Certainly not the likes of Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman or Chris Hemsworth or Christian Bale. And I've recently talked on this channel about Tom Cruise amidst all of the hype over Top Gun Maverick, and yes, he was certainly from the previous era, especially from the 80s, which was full of iconic box office A-listing actors. But when we look at Tom Cruise, certainly over the last 10 years or so, his record hasn't really been prolific outside of the Mission Impossible franchise itself. And this is very much in keeping in the current state of movies and entertainment today, where really now it's more the franchise that sells to audiences rather than the box office name of the actor themselves. But despite all of this, I will still maintain that Dwayne Johnson is still a big star today, and he does have a very sizable fan base, not only from his movies but also his wrestling career. And that's certainly going to be key as to whether the movie will succeed or not. And no doubt about it, he's certainly made a concerted effort to promote the movie over the last coming weeks and months. So separate from a few flops recently regarding the likes of Morbius and the Suicide Squad, superhero movies still dominate the industry today and still remain the most box office prolific genre within all of entertainment. Now there is of course the ongoing issue of Henry Cavill's Superman, which to be honest is more focused on within social media rather than general audiences, in particular with the Snyder fandom. Now if Henry does appear in the movie, whether it's going to be during the story or in the end credits, it will certainly raise a lot of awareness and get a lot of people within the Snyder fandom talking and tweeting about it, and this will do well to boost the over box office profile, particularly within fans online rather more than general audiences. But again, the traction within social media that would be generated if Henry was to appear would be very huge, especially in terms of Twitter, and that could possibly have a crossover effect in terms of more casual movie-going audiences. So in terms of overall box office, I'll probably predict that the movie will probably make anything in the range of around 500 to 700 million worldwide. Probably end up being closer to the $700 million range. Again, it will probably have much more of an extended run than what we've certainly seen with the likes of the Marvel movies, which have a very shortened window because the movies will end up streaming on Disney+. So I'd like to think that Warner Brothers, if they have any kind of sense, will try and make Black Adam stay in theatres for as long as possible. So alongside the presence of Dwayne Johnson, I also feel that the lack of competition in terms of big movies in the weeks prior and post the release of Black Adam will probably be the biggest factor overall to why I truly believe that the movie will succeed. So whilst I don't think it will be amongst the top grosses within the DCEU, I do ultimately feel that it will go on to be an overall success at the box office rather than a failure. So those are my overall thoughts and feelings and quick predictions on Black Adam and whether it will succeed or not at the box office. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you hyped for this film? Do you think amongst the big box office successes, not only within the DCEU, but also within the films within 2022? Let me know in the comments. Or do you think it will be another big massive failure in the ever struggling DCEU? And do you think it could be potentially the final nail in the coffin? Or do you think if it is successful that Dwayne Johnson will indeed to go on to be one of the major stars and driving force behind the DCEU going forward? Let me know what you think in the comments. And as usual within this channel, when the movie does release, I will of course provide non-spoiler and spoiler reviews, as well as provide further discussion on how the movie performs both financially and critically when it overall releases. So if you have any other topics and discussions, or would like to see me review any other television shows or series or movies within this channel, then let me know in the comments and I will see if I can provide further commentary on you within the future. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves and I will see you very, very soon.